Imagine you're sailing off the coast of Portugal. The water is calm, the sky is clear, and then, without warning, something slams into your rudder. Then again and again. You look over the side and you see them. Massive black and white shapes circling your boat like they own the ocean. Because honestly, they do, and they want you to know it. Welcome to one of the strangest, most unsettling, and honestly kind of hilarious wildlife mysteries happening on the planet right now. Orcas, killer whales, have been deliberately attacking and sinking boats off the coasts of Spain and Portugal, and scientists genuinely cannot agree on why. We're going to break down exactly what's been happening, who's behind it, what the leading theories are, and what it might mean for how we understand one of the most intelligent animals that has ever lived. And yes, there is one theory that is going to make your jaw drop. Since 2020, there have been over 700 recorded interactions between orcas and boats in the waters off the Iberian Peninsula. Hundreds of boats have been damaged, at least 4 have actually sunk. Sailors have described the attacks as terrifyingly coordinated, multiple orcas working together, taking turns ramming the rudder, almost like they're following a playbook. One crew described it as feeling like their boat was being shaken by a giant invisible hand. The attacks can last anywhere from a few minutes to over an hour, and in many cases, the orcas don't stop until the boat is completely disabled. Now, here's what makes this even wilder. It's not random orcas. It's a specific subpopulation of Iberian orcas, a critically endangered group of only about 40 individuals, and scientists have actually identified the ringleader. Her name, and yes, she has a name, is White Gladis. She is a mature female orca who appears to have started the behavior, and other orcas, particularly younger ones, seem to have learned it from her. We're watching a cultural transmission of a new behavior spread through a whale society in real time. Let that sink in. So why is White Gladis doing this? This is where things get genuinely fascinating and a little haunting. The most widely discussed theory is that she had a traumatic encounter with a boat at some point, possibly being struck by a hull or entangled in fishing gear, and now she's passing on what might be a kind of learned aggression or defensive behavior to her social group. Think about that for a second. An animal experienced something terrible, and she is now teaching the next generation how to respond to the thing that hurt her. That is not instinct. That is something much closer to culture, much closer to memory, much closer to something we might recognize in ourselves. But there's a second theory, and this one is almost funnier and somehow even more disturbing. Some researchers think the orcas might just be playing. Orcas are extraordinarily intelligent, deeply social, and they get bored.
Juveniles especially engage in all kinds of complex play behaviors. And rudders, those moving, spinning, hydrodynamic fins hanging off the back of boats, might just be incredibly fun toys to these animals. The fact that the behavior is spreading among younger orcas actually supports this idea. It could be a fad, a game, an orca trend that went viral through the pod the same way a dance goes viral on the internet, except the dance destroys sailboats. Now here's your fun tangent for today, because you absolutely need to hear this. In 2023, a group of orcas near the Shetland Islands in Scotland started a completely different weird trend. They began harassing and killing porpoises without eating them, just for the apparent thrill of it. Scientists called it play behavior. So between the boat sinking and the porpoise harassing, it's becoming increasingly clear that orcas have hobbies. They have hobbies, they have culture, they have fads, and at least some of those hobbies involve absolutely wrecking things. They are, in a word, chaotic, and they are smarter than most of us are comfortable admitting. Now back to the Atlantic. Here's what makes the Iberian orca situation particularly urgent, beyond just the danger to sailors. This subpopulation is critically endangered. There are only around 40 of them left, and their numbers have been declining for decades, largely due to overfishing of bluefin tuna, their primary food source, and boat strikes, which, by the way, adds an absolutely gut-wrenching layer to this whole story. These animals may be acting out against the very boats connected to the industry that has decimated their food supply. Whether or not that's a conscious connection in their minds, we can't say for certain, but the timing, the location, and the target suggest these are not random acts. Something changed for these animals. Something pushed them to this. So what are sailors supposed to do? Maritime authorities have issued guidelines. Avoid the Strait of Gibraltar and surrounding areas during peak orca activity. Keep moving if approached. Don't try to deter them. Interestingly, cutting the engine and going completely still sometimes causes the orcas to lose interest. The rudder stops moving, the game stops being fun, and they swim away. which, if you're on a sinking boat, is simultaneously the most useful and the most philosophically unsettling piece of advice you've ever received. Your survival strategy is to become boring to a whale. And here's the bigger picture that I want you to sit with for a moment. We are sharing this planet with animals of extraordinary complexity. Animals that form cultures, animals that learn from trauma, animals that teach their children behaviors that persist across generations.
And we are only just beginning to understand the degree to which our presence in their world has consequences. Consequences that, apparently, sometimes come back to us at 8,000 pounds moving through the water at 30 miles per hour. The orcas off Spain and Portugal are not monsters. They are not villains. They are highly intelligent beings responding to a world that has changed around them, a world that humans changed. And whether White Gladis started this out of pain or out of play or out of something we don't even have a word for yet, she has done something remarkable. She has made us pay attention. So here's the question I want you to think about and drop in the comments. If orcas can develop and spread cultural behaviors, including ones that target human technology, what does that say about the line we've drawn between human intelligence and animal intelligence? Is it as solid as we thought? I genuinely want to know what you think. If this video made you look at the ocean a little differently, do me a favor and smash that like button. It helps this channel more than you know. And subscribe so you never miss a fact that makes you question everything you thought you knew about this planet. Next up, check out our video on the most terrifyingly intelligent animals you've never heard of. Trust me, the ocean is just getting started.